Hi everybody, it's Tatiana and this is Wild Seed by Octavia Butler. This is what has been rearranged as the first book in her Patternist series. I actually also have the bind up of this, which is Seed to Harvest, and it has all 4 books in the series. I will give you a heads up should you come across this edition. It has quite a few typos in it. I actually found myself going between this edition and the bind-up because the bind-up was typo-free, but I ended up taking this with me when I traveled because it's so much shorter than the bind-up. I read this as a buddy read with Freeform Lady, and she actually has a different edition as well. This story starts with Anyanwu, who is a centuries-old, obviously immortal being, and the person or thing who ends up becoming her companion named Doro. I'm actually going to read you the synopsis on the back because it's short. For centuries, Anyanwu has created, birthed tribes, healed with her kisses, transformed into anything she wills herself to be. For millennia, Doro has possessed, taken bodies as his own, killed with his whim, manipulated others to build a private race of witches and seers, and the power of their meeting, of Anyanwu's nurture and passion, of Doro's force and ambition, of their immortal love and hatred, will burn a pattern into the very destiny of the world. I will start with stating that, of course, I really liked this book. It's an Octavia Butler book. I love the way that she writes. I love the way that she puts her characters forth, and it's not the same way in every book. It's like she spends time with her characters to give them characteristics that are so different from other characters that she has written. Having said that, I must admit that starting off, Anyanwu was not the kind of female character that I wanted to receive from Octavia Butler. She does not have the same spunk and, I guess, brazenness that some of Octavia Butler's other characters that I've read have had because of how nurturing she is. And it took a minute for me to come to terms with that about Anyanwu. Once I was able to come to terms with that, I was able to receive her a lot better than I started out. And that probably went until about more than halfway through the story. And afterwards, and this is the benefit of buddy reading a book, you get to bounce ideas and thoughts off of another person, and Freeform Lady and I spent a lot of time on Snapchat talking to each other about how we perceived Anyanwu as well as how we saw Doro. Doro is nobody that you ever want to come in contact with. And between the two of them, they both create life, but it's the purpose of why you're creating this life that sticks out to me more than, or not more, but along with some of the other things in the story. It's like, are you creating life for companionship so that they can live their lives and learn how to operate in this world, because the beings that you are creating are not like the humans that live on this earth? Or are you creating life for the sake of creating life or to dominate? And that's the difference between Anyanwu and Doro, with Anyanwu being much more of a nurturing personality and Doro being this personality who tries over and over again to dominate everyone that he comes in contact with, including Anyanwu. As the story progresses and we see more of what Anyanwu can do, there are a lot of questions that are brought forth that I don't want to discuss because it kind of gives things away for what happens in the story. But it's going to have you asking questions that feels like Butler never answers, but she does in a very subtle way. And after reading this, I am so looking forward to reading the rest of the series, even though I'm trying to space her works out. I wanted to jump right into, I believe Mind of My Mind is next, or Clay's Arc, whichever one is next. I wanted to jump right into it because I wanted to see what happens beyond Anyanwu and Doro's meeting and the time that they spend with each other. The story does span about 200, 300 years, somewhere in between there, and it is a very tumultuous relationship. It's not the easiest relationship on either of their sides, and a lot of times it's kind of like Anyanwu just settles to take and deal with what she's been presented with because she decides to continue this relationship with Doro. When you think of what the scourge of the earth would be, that is Doro. That's the thing, the person, the entity that you never want to exist, yet it does exist. So how do you handle that? There are things that he does and things that he says and the ways that he interacts with not only his own children, but the people that he takes in and kind of houses. The way he interacts with them, it's like you all are all fodder, and I'm allowing you to live until I need you to fulfill a purpose that better suits me. And if that means you must die in order for me to get what I need out of you, then fine. If I got to keep you living, okay, we'll do that until your death is more opportune. Then you also have some of the other characters in the story you have some of Doro's children as well as Anyanwu's children, and it becomes in some places a story about their stories. There is one pivotal character in the novel that has a different effect on both Anyanwu and Doro, who you don't expect to have an effect on you, yet he does. And once they come into contact with him, whenever they are, as you know, the centuries pass, the years pass, he's somebody that they both reflect on and think about beyond their encounter and experience with him. I have such a heart for Anyanwu, and yet instill such an irritation with her while having so much disdain and dislike for Doro. If you want a book that's going to make you think as well as make you feel and explore your thoughts as well as your feelings and have the sci-fi and supernatural element to it, this is a great book to look at, to read, to examine. Yeah, I kind of wish that I read this when I was younger, and that more people read this when they were young, because of the themes that it brings forth and how it makes you think about life and the value of life, and how you should care about life, and how other people's perception of the value of your life can affect how you deal with other people. And so much about this and the themes in this story are really, really awesome. I just so hate that I never got the chance to talk to her or meet her and get what her real intentions and what her thoughts were behind the creation of some of these characters and these themes. I have so many theories where Anyanwu's character is concerned, and I have theories about other characters that I've read about that Butler wrote about. I just wish I had the opportunity to share that with her. Freeform Lady and I had like the longest snap conversations. I think I had one because I was just thinking and talking and sharing as I was thinking, and I think I sent her one that probably was close to 3 minutes long. And if you are aware of Snapchat, even when you're sending messages between people, it gives you 10 seconds for your message, but you can send, you know, snap after snap after snap. And I just kept talking, and I had to apologize. I was like, I'm sorry, I've gotten on a roll. It's easy for me to do when discussing Octavia Butler, but yes, this was awesome. And I'm going to stop because the only thing left to do is gush. So, yes, thank you all for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more, subscribe. And I hope you all have a good weekend, whenever you see this video. Peace out.